The message came through on WhatsApp at 0300 hours Kabul time. I was on watch duty at Forward Operating Base Chapman when my phone buzzed with my mother's text. Sold the house today. Got $750,000. You'll thank me when you're older. This was for your own good. Mom. I stared at the screen, certain I was misreading it through my night vision goggles. The house. My house. The one my father had left me when he died 5 years ago, right before I enlisted. I'm Staff Sergeant Maria Gonzalez, 29, serving my second deployment with the Air Force. That house in San Antonio wasn't just property, it was my father's dream, bought with his construction company earnings. The place he'd promised would always be mine. My hands shook as I typed back. What? That's my house. Dad left it to Emmy. You're being dramatic. You're never home anyway. Your brother needs the money for his medical school. My brother. Gabriel. The one who'd failed out of 3 colleges but somehow convinced our mother he was destined to be a doctor. I immediately called Captain Morrison, my commanding officer. Sir, I need to use the satellite phone. It's an emergency. The first call was to my neighbor, Mrs. Chen, who'd been checking on the house. Maria, I've been trying to reach you. Your mother came with movers 2 weeks ago. Said you asked her to sell. I thought it was strange, but she had paperwork. What paperwork? Power of attorney. Said you signed it before deploying. I never signed anything. The rage was so intense I had to steady myself against the communications tent. Captain Morrison noticed my distress. Gonzalez, what's the situation? When I explained, his face darkened. Show me the messages. He read them, then immediately said, we're calling JAG. Now. JAG, Judge Advocate General, the military's legal branch. Within hours, Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Webb was on a secure video call from D.C. Sergeant Gonzalez, did you give your mother power of attorney? No, I specifically didn't because... I hesitated. Because what, Sergeant? Because I knew she'd do something like this. She's always favored my brother. Colonel Webb's expression was stone. Forging military power of attorney is a federal offense. It's considered defrauding the United States government when the service member is deployed. Send me everything. Texts, emails, any communication about the house. The investigation moved with military precision. Within 48 hours, they'd uncovered the truth. My mother had hired someone to forge my signature on power of attorney documents, claiming I was unreachable in a combat zone. She'd then rushed the sale to a cash buyer, closing in just 10 days. But she'd made one crucial mistake. The notary she'd used had video recorded the signing session, standard practice now, and the woman pretending to be me looked nothing like my official military photo. We've frozen the funds, Colonel Webb informed me during another call. The buyer is cooperating. They had no idea it was fraudulent. Your mother and brother are being questioned. The news traveled fast through the base. My unit was furious. These people had my back in combat zones. They weren't about to let my family steal from me while I served our country. Master Sergeant Thompson set up a GoFundMe that I didn't ask for. For legal fees, he said gruffly. It raised $30,000 in 2 days, mostly from service members who'd faced similar family betrayals during deployment. 3 weeks later, I was granted emergency leave to testify. Flying from Kabul to San Antonio, I felt like I was heading into a different kind of war zone. The military tribunal was held at Joint Base San Antonio. My mother and Gabriel sat at the defendant's table, looking smaller than I remembered. Mom had aged, her usually perfect hair gray at the roots. Gabriel couldn't meet my eyes. The prosecutor, Major James Harrison, laid out the case methodically. The forged documents. The fake notary video. The rushed sale. The text messages where my mother admitted to the sale after the fact. This is a clear violation of the Service Members Civil Relief Act, he stated. The defendant took advantage of her daughter's military service, knowing Sergeant Gonzalez couldn't defend her property from a combat zone. Then they played the security footage from the title company. My mother laughing with Gabriel as she signed my name, saying, Maria won't even know until it's done. She'll be fine. She has military housing. The judge, Colonel Robert Pierce, a Vietnam veteran with eyes like steel, watched silently. My mother took the stand, tears streaming. I did it for the family. Maria was never there. The house was just sitting empty. Gabriel needs this chance at medical school. Did Sergeant Gonzalez give you permission to sell? Major Harrison asked. She would have if she understood. Yes or no, Mrs. Gonzalez? No. Did you forge her signature? Her lawyer objected, but the judge overruled. Answer the question. I had someone help with the paperwork. That's forgery, Mrs. Gonzalez. While your daughter was in a combat zone, defending the country that gave you the freedom to steal from her. The moment that went viral came during Gabriel's testimony. He was trying to explain why he deserved the money more than me when Colonel Pierce interrupted. Son, are you aware your sister was wounded in an IED attack 2 months ago? Gabriel stammered. No. She didn't tell her family because she didn't want you to worry. She was awarded a Purple Heart. While she was recovering from shrapnel wounds, you were spending the money from her house. How does that sit with you? Gabriel broke down crying. The video of that moment, a judge destroying my brother's entitlement with simple facts, got 12 million views in a week. The verdict was swift. Guilty of fraud, forgery, and violating the Service Members' Civil Relief Act. My mother was sentenced to 5 years federal prison, 3 suspended with probation. Gabriel got 2 years, 1 suspended. They were ordered to return all funds immediately. The house buyer, a young family, were victims too. The military legal team worked out a solution. I bought the house back at the original price plus their moving expenses. It seemed fair, they hadn't done anything wrong. After the trial, my mother approached me outside the courthouse. Maria, Mija, I'm your mother. How could you? How could I what? Defend myself? Refuse to fund Gabriel's dreams with my inheritance? Family helps family. I was helping, I said, my voice steady. By serving our country. By sending money home every month. By keeping Dad's house maintained. But it was never enough, was it? Gabriel was always worth more. She reached for me, but I stepped back. I have to return to base. When will you forgive me? She called out. When you admit you were wrong. Not just legally. Morally. I never got that admission. The story spread through military networks. I received hundreds of messages from service members who'd faced similar situations. Families who'd drained bank accounts, sold cars, destroyed credit while their loved ones were deployed. We started a support group, Deployed and Defrauded. It grew to thousands of members. We shared resources, legal advice, and most importantly, the understanding that protecting ourselves from family wasn't betrayal, it was survival. 6 months later, back in Afghanistan, I received a video message from Mrs. Chen. She was standing in front of my house with a banner, "Welcome home Maria, your real family." Behind her stood my unit, on their recent leave, fixing up the house. New paint, repaired fence, restored garden. Master Sergeant Thompson was power washing the driveway. Captain Morrison was planting an American flag. For when you get back, Mrs. Chen said, tears in her eyes. This will always be your home. I cried in my bunk that night. Not from sadness, but from gratitude. I'd lost the family I was born into but found the family I'd earned. My deployment ended 3 months later. When I pulled up to my house, the whole neighborhood was there. Veterans from 5 different wars, military families, and civilians who'd followed the story. A sign read, "A hero lives here." Gabriel wrote me once from minimum security prison. He'd finally understood, he said. Seeing other inmates who'd also betrayed family members had opened his eyes. He was getting his real estate license for when he got out. Starting over. I wrote back once, "Good luck." Mom served 18 months before early release. She moved in with her sister in Houston. We haven't spoken since. The house stands strong, just like Dad built it. I've turned the garage into a workshop where I teach woodworking to veterans with PTSD, something Dad would have loved. The walls are covered with unit patches from service members worldwide who've sent them in solidarity. During my last video call with Colonel Webb, She told me something that stuck. Sergeant, you didn't just win a legal case. You set precedent. 3 new federal protections for deployed service members passed because of your case. You protected thousands of future service members from what you experienced. The viral video of the trial is still shared in military legal briefings. A reminder that those who serve deserve protection from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Even when the domestic ones share your DNA. Because sometimes the hardest battle isn't in a combat zone. It's defending yourself from those who were supposed to defend you. And sometimes, your real family isn't found at a reunion or holiday dinner, it's found in a foxhole, a courtroom, or a neighborhood of strangers who become your strongest allies. The house my father built still stands. So do I.